Welcome to Beatsource Tech. My name is Mojaxx and we're doing things a little bit differently today. It's actually a Saturday night. I've got the night off. I was DJing last night, but I've got tonight off. And in a couple of weeks, I have some 45 sets coming up. And I haven't done a 45 set for a minute. So I just thought I would spend Saturday evening, cataloguing, tagging, writing on and cleaning my new 45s, my new additions to the collection, plus doing my old school cue points with my little stickers. And I thought it was about time that I showed you the latest tool that I'm using for that kind of work, because I've had this now for a few months. It's been around for a minute and I showed it to you at NAMM. They had them on display there. It's the Stokyo Record Mate, or the Portable Player Model RM1C. Now, one thing to make very clear straight away, this is not a portabilist turntable. We've covered those in the past, the Newmark PT01 and the mods, then the PT01 Scratch, the Reloop Spin. There is the Stanton STX, which I actually still haven't got around to reviewing. I must do that at some point. This is a very different animal. It's not designed for turntablism. It's not even really designed for DJing. It's actually based on a very old design from, I think, the 1960s originally, the Columbia GP3 portable turntable, which was only ever designed for just listening to your vinyl on. But it was adopted as the years went on by people who dig for records, proper crate diggers going out to different dusty stores and going through piles of old 45s and 12 inches. It will play 12 inches as well. And it got kind of a cult following. Since then, there have been various iterations of it from different companies, like licensed and kind of remade, and this is the latest one from Stokyo. There was another version a couple of years ago that was available on Amazon Japan. And there's a channel on YouTube, which you should be watching if you don't already, called Tech Moan. The guy is fantastic. His channel is awesome. If you're into obscure audio and video hardware and formats and stuff, is one of the best, one of the absolute best, right? So definitely check him out. But he did a video about a version of this. And as far as I can tell, the Stokyo version now is basically exactly the same as that. There doesn't seem to be any changes since then. But it's now available from Stokyo, branded as the Record Mate. It's available in this awesome, transparent, I'm going to say late 90s iMac kind of style. I love this look where you can see all the bits inside. There used to be lots of gear like this. There was even, I think, there was some Vestax mixers like this. There was even a Gemini PT2410 turntable. It was like turquoise, transparent. I mean, it was plastic, so it didn't sound great. But yeah, I love that look. I love it. I really do. They have it in this, like a transparent black. And they had like a beige version. Looked more like an original Columbia, but that is now out of stock. I don't know if that's coming back in. There is a mixer to go with it. So you can DJ with it. It's got pitch control. And you can actually kind of DJ with them, but you can't, it's not for scratching, it's not for portablism. If you want to check out some DJing with these, with I think the previous version, then there's this guy, Alex the Beatmeister Paz, who's got some great mixes on his channel, playing 45s on this design, and it's really fun. So we'll link that in the description below. But yeah, it's a portable turntable, but it's not for scratching, it's not for portablism. It is for going out, listening to stuff in record stores. Where it's found use in my life is that, my main 45 collection is all in boxes in one room. My decks and mixer are in a different room. So I just have this in there next to my 45s. And if I want to just audition something, check something out, what's on the B side of that, and listen, this is just handy to have there. It's really, really useful from that point of view. So absolutely. The reason that I prefer this over, because I have a bunch of portables, right? But the reason I prefer this is that unlike, let's say, a regular PT01 or the Newmark Spin or the Stanton STX, they have ceramic cartridges which track at really high weights. Not good for your records, not at all. They track at 8, 9 grams or something. It's crazy. And yeah, they don't sound good, but also very not good for your records, like a Crossley, that kind of vibe, not good. This comes out of the box with a proper moving magnet Audio-Technica cartridge, which actually sounds pretty good. The speaker in here is like a mono speaker. I'll play something for you. It's not amazing, but it's what you'd expect from a portable turntable. You don't expect audiophile quality from that. But the output, because you've got that decent cartridge on there, And then you've got a stereo output from this headphone socket. You turn it up to about 10 o'clock or thereabouts. And actually, I've fed it into Ableton. It sounds good. Like, if you want to use this for sampling as well, if you want a really compact setup for sampling vinyl in your studio, because obviously that's the line output. You don't need a phono level input on your mixer. You can run this to any audio mixer or into your audio interface or whatever, and you get a decent sound out of it. Not the best, highest quality sound in the world, but you get a decent sound out of it. So that's another possibility. So you've got, you know, crate digging on the move, going through your own collection, etc., but also sampling. Like, this thing is pretty useful from that point of view. It's not a DJ product, you know. I know we normally just talk about DJ stuff here, but lots of you, like me, I'm sure, love vinyl, love collecting vinyl, love searching for records, and like, this is a great accompaniment for that. It absolutely is. So I'll give you an idea of the quality from this speaker. It doesn't go that loud. Obviously going through the microphone I'm wearing here, but you know, it doesn't go that loud. It's not amazing. It doesn't have loads of bass. But it's good enough for, you know, just at home, want to check something out, skip through. And it tracks at around 4.5 grams. It seems to vary slightly. It's like a spring-loaded mechanism here, but I use my stylus pressure gauge. It's around 4.5 grams. It's what I'm getting most of the time. There's no way to adjust the tone arm counterbalance or anything, but it's fine. There are some really nice touches about the design. You know, it turns off and on with the one knob up at the top right. Yeah, you've got the pitch control to go up and down. The pitch is pretty stable. So, you know, again, if you want to use them to mix with, you can. The pitch is pretty stable. It's pretty locked in. Pretty close to zero. It's not perfect. The one bit of B-roll I will throw into this video is I'll record the Serato control tone. I'll show you how that looks. But yeah, it's okay. It's good enough for its intended purpose. You've got a 45 off and 33 switch down here. So go 40, 33 off, 45. So you can start with it off and then turn it on like that. It does otherwise go on and off with that spring switch built in. Comes with this little 45 adapter that sits on the body of the unit. And it also comes with this other adapter thing, which I'll show you in a second. But yeah, another piece I really like about the design, and this is not unique to the Stokyo version, it's been how it has been forever. Just put the stylus guard back on. But yeah, it's got this raised plastic edge here. So if you drop the stylus, it doesn't actually drop onto the stylus. It only ever drops onto the cart. So that's good if you're clumsy or whatever. That's really nice. Then it sits into that slot there. And then when we put that lid on, the lid has got a little foam piece stuck inside, clips in, and you can then carry the thing around and the tone arm will never come loose, come out of place, and possibly damage your stylus. So as a portable device, which is obviously what it's meant to be, it's really good. It's really cool. One aspect of the portability, of course, is the battery power. Now, it does come with a DC power supply. It's like 8-volt power supply, which is fine. Works perfectly well. If you want to go fully portable there, you're going to need to use batteries, and it does take 6 D-size batteries, so they're quite big batteries. I'm not a big fan of these Ds because they are expensive and it takes 6 of them at a time. They're big and they're heavy. One interesting thing I found a few years ago looking at portables is that you can get these adapters, like I have these that I got from eBay years ago, which you can basically put AA's into, because AA's and D's are the same voltage, just D's are physically bigger cells. So you can actually run, that's what I've got adapters in here, and I'm running AA's inside here right now. And then I have rechargeable AA's that I can use. Battery life, they reckon, you know, 5 to 10 hours or something like that. It's going to vary according to what you use. You use high quality rechargeable AA's, or if you use D's, I'm not even going to go out and buy D's for it. So I can't give you a real assessment of the battery life. But as I say, if you get these adapters, AA's are very easy to come across. Any gas station, corner store, not a problem. you know, rechargeables you can use, or you can go out and use Ds. But personally, I prefer the AA's from that point of view. And when it's at home, obviously I'm using the DC adapter. Future Mojaxx here. I decided that wasn't really good enough, so I did go out and buy some Duracell D batteries in the end. I then left the Recordmate running for over 7 hours on 45 RPM with the volume halfway up, and it was still going strong at that point, so I decided to call it a day there. So yeah, I'm confident in saying you're going to get well over 5 hours, depending of course on what kind of batteries you use. So yeah, that's one area I would like to see them change. You know, if they were going to make any kind of redesign to this in the future, I would like to see them do 18650 batteries or some kind of USB power source, so you could run it off a power bank. That would be fantastic. That would absolutely just take this thing to the next level. But otherwise, for its intended purpose, I don't have a lot to complain about with the Recordmate. It sounds good enough with the speaker. The output quality from the headphone socket is very good, like certainly good enough. It's portable. It's not going to damage your vinyl, your precious 45s, 12 inches, 10 inches, because it'll play whatever size. And so, yeah, for my purposes, this is a fantastic product. Yeah, I have portable turntables for turntablism, etc. They're great at what they do. But if you look at, you know, let's say a PTO1, PTO1 scratch like 130 bucks. Okay, that's great. But if you want to play precious vinyl on it, you're going to need to get a tone arm, a preamp, and a cartridge, which is going to put it way above. Like this is $250. So that's going to put a PTO1 way above the price of this once you go into getting a proper cartridge on there, because those ceramic cartridges, they're fine for playing your battle weapons, you know, your latest, you know, practice yell cuts or whatever. You don't mind wearing that out, that's fine. But when I'm playing some of my more expensive 45s, I don't want to be playing those with a ceramic cartridge. This has got a good quality moving magnet cartridge, and it's just a very nice object. You know, it's a classic piece of design, a real vintage piece of design that still works today. For me, it's like the 45 itself. You know, the idea of the 45, it's a lovely object that makes me think of times past, but it's still relevant as a technology today. And overall, I just really enjoy having the Recordmate in my life. So if you see the value in it, fantastic. I do recommend it. Go out and buy one. If you don't, then sure, it's not a product for you, right? And that's fine. That's what it is. You might not have interest in playing regular vinyl. You might just be an all digital DJ or whatever else. You might not see the value in a product like this. But for me, yeah, it's not the cheapest thing out there, but I do think it's just a very nice item to have in your life. And I'm very glad I've got one in my life. There's one last thing, which it's stupid. It's a gimmick. I don't recommend anyone does this, but because of the spring-loaded nature of the tone arm, you can play it vertically. I don't even know why I'm showing this to you. Let me take the stylus guard off again. This is so ludicrous. But yeah, you can play it vertically, right? So let's lift it up, turn it on. You can literally, there's holes on the back to mount it on the wall. My recommendation, don't do this. If you want to do it, that's fine, you can do it, but I don't know. It's fun, it's nice as an idea, and if this is what sells you on the Recordmate, then go ahead, buy one. But yeah, for me, no, it's that's a step too far, slightly. But it doesn't detract from what I think is just, yeah, it's a lovely item, a lovely object. And yeah, I think a lot of you might find a lot of joy from owning one of these Stokyo Recordmates. Let us know in the comments, what do you think about this as an item? Is it something you'd like in your life? Have you had an original Columbia version in the past? Have you had another branded version of this? What is your favorite portable turntable? Where's the best place you've ever been digging for records? You know, where did you get the most absolute gems when you went out going through those dusty shelves somewhere? What was the best city, the best store? You don't have to blow up the spot itself if you don't want to. But yeah, all you collectors out there, let us know your favorite places to go and dig. What's the best digging trip you've ever been on? Let's talk about digging and 45s and vinyl in those comments below. Thank you for watching this episode of Beatsource Tech. I do hope you've enjoyed it or found it useful. If you have, please give the video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos. I'll see you next time.